Hello, this is Jenny Clark with Solvability, and today I've got my session on what's up with Mitch. So, Mitch is a small business in federal contracting, and we're working together because he really needs to have a business partner that is helping him watch out for the business side of the house, what he needs, where he wants to go, and also making sure that the financial side of that business plan is working. So, today's question from What's Up with Mitch is how do we come up with a compensation plan to keep our best people? That's a great question. You've got a team, you want to make sure that you're meeting their needs from a professional standpoint, that they're challenged in their work, that they're getting to do what they want to do, but you also want to make sure that you're compensating them fairly so they don't say, well, everything was great, but I'm just not making the kind of money that I need to. I've talked to Mitch about it. We're not really able to do anything with that. And, finally we had to part ways. Mitch, as usual, is a bottom line guy, says to me, Jenny, I just want it all to work. And he gave me three criteria this time. He asked three questions. The first thing is, Jenny, if we can only bid 2% escalation on our billing rates, how are we supposed to give decent raises and keep our team together? That's a great question, Mitch. We're going to have to talk about that because that kind of is the growing rate 2 to 3% is about what they expect. And so it really puts all the burden back on you as a small business to figure out how to manage within that. Mitch's second question is there a way to do bonuses or commissions so we keep the team happy but don't kill our profit? Yeah, we should talk about that. You can give people a permanent pay increase, but you could also give them a bonus based on performance, maybe some goals that you set, and maybe that's going to be something we should take a look at. It allows you to invest in your team, but they know that you guys have an agreement for what's going to happen when X result happens. Mitch's third question is we need to have more people selling, but how do we incentivize them and let them share in the results? Obviously, these are business developers, and you want to make sure that you've got the right people on your team. And when I've talked to business developers, they say you're only as good as your last win, because as soon as you win that, the next question is, well, what do you bring in next? So how do you make it so that there are incentives there, and how do you pay them out? So let's go back to the first question. We've only got 2% escalation in our bids. How do we give people raises? Well, you're not going to be able to give people 10% raises. And people in the federal contracting industry kind of have an understanding of what the salary type thing is. And in many cases, they're in this industry because they're mission driven and they're focused on serving the warfighter. And money is important, but it's not the most important thing. There are a lot of ways that you can compensate your employees, right? You can give them annual increases. You could have flexibility on their time. You can give them a very liberal leave policy. You could create ways that they're involved in the community through your company, which gives your company project. There's a lot of companies that do like every once a year, people have a volunteer day, something like that. Do something for your corporate culture or through your corporate culture that takes care of your team, not just for their greater participation across your company. As far as giving raises, some companies do it at the same time every year for everybody in the company. If you're going to do that, I would not recommend that you do it in January. January is always a cash crunch. For some reason, the government is slow to come back after the holidays. And then you've got New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, and President's Day all early in the year. So if you're going to do an annual increase, I would put it out there in May or the summer or something like that, because you really don't start getting money flowing in well until March. Okay. The other thing is you certainly could have a bonus or compensation plan. You really want to think about it. Who in the company would be getting bonuses? And it's usually people that are part of your corporate staffing, your program managers, and people like that that are making decisions. The people that are on contract or usually have an expectation of they're going to get a raise every year, but they're not necessarily looking for bonuses. The ones that are taking the risks are your business developers and your executive team, and they're the ones that might have more a different compensation plan. So just think about that. His second question is about bonuses or commissions to keep the team happy. You could certainly set revenue goals for certain members of the team, and as those revenue goals are met, they earn bonuses. You need to look at the timing of those bonuses and what they do, and you also probably need to base the bonuses on the cash flow that's coming in off those particular contract wins. Because winning a contract in April and starting to execute it after you've gone through whatever you have to go through to lock that contract down and get started and get to the billings and people working on it, that can take some time. For recruiters and for people in sales, yes, you should have some way that they feel like they can boost their income by having them participate in a compensation plan that includes bonuses and commissions. This should be a written plan. It should be clear to them how it's going to be paid and what's going to be done, and also the decision-making process for that plan. There may be a committee that you've got set up, the bonus compensation committee, something like that. Might be somebody from human resources, somebody from finance, yourself. And many times you will bring an outside person, maybe their CPA, maybe their banker, maybe some trusted mentors, and have a review process that you've got a formal process. Mitch's third question is, we need to have more people selling, but how do we incentivize them and let them share in the results? One of the most expensive things that you're doing is having a business developer that's representing your company, looking for opportunities, figuring out what to go after. And then you've got your whole proposal team and proposal process. So how do you incentivize people to outperform your competition? If that happens, you're certainly happy to compensate them. Again, you need to have clear goals. You need to have good ways that you're evaluating your business developers. You need to have a process so you know what they're looking at and that they're looking in the right direction. So think about those type of objectives when you're designing what you want to do as far as compensation plans. And then talk among your peers, find out what they're doing, find out what's working for them. So Mitch is unstoppable. Are you? You know where you want to go. Solvability can help you get there with the cost and pricing intelligence you need to accelerate and scale your business. Most of our clients get started with our free wrap rate calculator. You can download that on our website at solvability.com. That's S as in Sam, OLV as in Victor, and the word ability.com. What is the wrap rate calculator anyway? Well, it's a quick and handy tool. Every company has its own success formula, their financial formula about what it costs to keep the people that they've got on their team, what they're paying out in fringe, overhead, and G&A, and what you're covering in profit. And so what I've given in the wrap rate calculator is a simple way to calculate it. It's not the only way to calculate it, but for a lot of people, that's a good starting point. Just understand the basic GovCon math. How do you make money off the people you're selling? What should your wrap rate, your multiplier be? Also, if you've got something bigger or more urgent, you feel like you want to talk to me about engaging our services for something more extensive, the fastest way to get in touch with me is text me. Area code 256-882-6276. And, just send me a text. Tell me who you are, what company you're with, and what your most urgent requirement is, and we'll set up a time to talk.